Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Anxiety and Depression is Not the End. We are at episode 16 and today's topic is going to be about determination. One of the hardest things, I know I keep saying that about everything's being hard, but determination is going to be your game changer. But before I get a little deeper into determination, we need to talk about focus. What I've been talking about a lot throughout my series about focus, because determination is something that we all feel like we want to have, but the moment we think about being determined about, especially if you're trying to heal yourself from anxiety and depression, it phases out because your negative thoughts are still there. Your negative thoughts are telling you that you don't have the ability to have determination. You don't have the ability to have the strength to overcome this darkness. You don't have a lot of things because your negative thoughts are making you think that way, that you aren't capable of doing these amazing things, So, and throughout the series, I've been talking about steps, right? Steps. There are going to be some crucial steps before you can reach certain parts of the things that you can do, that you can work on for your healing process, right? So, focus is one of them for sure, that I talk about the most. And it's number one. And loving yourself, right? And loving yourself and taking care of yourself. Without these three things, determination is not going to kick in yet. All right. You're going to be able to feel when you're ready to do so. Right. And that's something I had to teach myself, because during my dark time, I wanted to find my happiness. I wanted to heal myself. I wanted to do so many things. Right. But I just couldn't get through that wall. There's that dark cloud, you know what I'm talking about, right? That dark cloud that you wake up in the morning and you see every single day, throughout the day, and you feel that you cannot move forward. And when you start to be more determined about your goals, which is probably healing yourself or finding your happiness, it will come. But before you can actually, have that willpower, that strength to push yourself, you're going to be able to you have to start clearing your thoughts, right? You have to start visualizing yourself in a happier place, visualizing yourself that, you're going to heal yourself from this, and you're going to get better, and, the one thing that I look back at now is, I had to go through a lot of things through my journey to realize what I had to fight for, why I was so determined to get to my happy place, right? So, there's a time when I left you guys, if you've been following my series, I left my house, I left my family. I almost gave up that one day, right? But, a miracle happened to me, brought me back home, and I realized that I was walking away from my happiness, which was my family, which was my house, which was, all the things that I should be grateful for. I started thinking about that. There were days when I just, took off without anyone knowing, and I just walked through a forest, and my family would be like, where did daddy go? Right. And, there was one time I was at this park, and, I was sitting there and I was telling myself my life is over and all these bad things. And all of a sudden, after like maybe 2 hours I left the house, I saw my kids and my mother walk into the park looking for me. And I burst into tears because it made me realize that there are so many people that love me. And I was telling myself, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this to myself? So I kind of put all these things together, and I said, Roger, like, if you want to find your happiness, don't run away from it. Don't walk away from it. It's there for you. You have it, right? So what are you going to do about it? And I told myself, you know what, Roger, I'm going to fight for it. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to make my family happy again, to make me happy again, because I really, really want it back. And if you're going through, I know it's really tough right now because, telling yourself or just watching this video about me talking about determination, you're like, yeah, it's so easy for him to say, but it's so hard to do, right? And that's why I'm going to go back from the beginning of this video when I'm talking about how you have to start clearing your mind, right? Clearing those thoughts. And at least try to allow your positive thoughts to come in so you can start thinking about those positive thoughts. Because when you start thinking about those positive thoughts, you're going to be a lot more determined, right? It's going to allow you to have that energy to do so, right? And another thing was that there are a lot of things that happened to me through my journey that, before I started healing myself, that made me angry, right? I was angry at myself, I was angry at my life, and I was like, I hate this, I hate that, and I cried every single day. But, there was a point where I took that anger and that hatred and I converted that into strength in a positive way, like push myself forward, because it's like I could have, used that negative energy and continue to hate myself and continue to hate people and continue to hate the world, right? But I reversed it. I took that same energy of anger and hate and I converted it into, a power that gave me that determination to push forward, right? I used it and I said, no, I am not going to give up. I am so determined to reach my goal, my destination, because I started creating a destination for myself. It wasn't waking up in the morning and telling myself that I have nowhere to go, that I have no future, and that, that I'm never going to see my happiness again, right? I altered the way I was thinking. I changed the way I felt about how I wanted to treat myself. I wanted to treat myself better, because the more you treat yourself better, the more you take care of yourself. And again, loving yourself, as I was speaking earlier in this video, is so crucial, right? Because once you start loving yourself, then you can tell yourself that if I want to get to that point where I want to make myself happy, and that's all about loving yourself, right? Then you are going to find that power within you and tell yourself, nothing is going to stop me to getting to that place where I can start smiling again and I can start enjoying life again, and all the great things that you thought you could never have again because of your depression and anxiety, which is stopping you. Those negative and dark thoughts that you're thinking about all day, all night long, and and it's tough, right? So you have to figure out, why are you going to fight this fight? What is it for you in the future that you want to get to so bad? And how you're telling yourself that, no, nothing is going to stop me from getting there, because everybody's story is different, right? I used my family and my kids as the main thing for me to really push myself, right? Because I didn't want my life to be like that anymore. Living in that environment where I was, alone all the time, or I felt that I was alone, and nobody was approaching me or talking to me. I didn't want that anymore, right? So whatever it is that, that you can think of, that you can really tell yourself, hey, you know what? This is going to push me and give me that strength and that power to fight for every single day, so that I can get there. And that's where that determination is going to kick in, and, it's not something that you're going to be like, you wake in the morning and one day you feel determined, and then the next day comes and then you stop. And then the next week you say, oh, I'm determined. You have to be consistent. And that's why it is so important for you to do all the positive things I was talking about, loving yourself, focusing on yourself, doing things that, can at least make you feel that, there's something worth fighting for, right? And you are going to understand what I'm talking about when you start loving yourself. When you start appreciating your life, and you start to become more grateful for the things that you already have, right? Because once you start thinking about all these good things, then you're going to start to tell yourself, you're going to start to believe in yourself a little bit more, right? You're going to start to believe that, maybe there is a chance that I can get better. Maybe there is a chance that I can start thinking positively again. And maybe there's a chance that I'll be able to see, live the life I wanted to be happy. Right? And once you start to visualize that, you are going to be more determined than ever to find that place, to get there, that destination, right? And again, it's not going to be easy, but just to have someone to tell you that there is a possibility, right? And that's why I share my story, and that's why I talk about my story and try to tell people. My mission, right, is to help as many people as I can, because I went through anxiety and depression. I hit rock bottom. I know what it's like to be in like the worst place ever, especially in your mind, right? But I am an example, just a regular person who was able to figure it out, how to do it, how to get through that darkness, how to climb that mountain, to get there on the top. And I couldn't have done it without determination. Determination is going to change everything for you, right? So, after watching this video, hopefully you've been able to learn something about how you're gonna, allow that to come into your life, right? Because you can't, like I said earlier in the video, you can tell yourself, oh, I'm so determined. And then the next thing you know, what happened to it? Where did it go? It's because, again, your negative thoughts are making you believe that there's nothing ahead for you in the future, right? But as long as you get in there and you know that you have the power to take control of your mind and then control your thoughts, you're going to be able to control your life again. And that's what you want, the power to start taking control of your life again. All right, so hopefully this video helps. Remember, your mind matters. And I always say this, everything starts from up here. So once you start working up here, everything is going to kick in. And, you're going to realize, once you realize how powerful your mind is, you're going to start making incredible changes in your life. All right. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. Please like the video, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Take care. Bye-bye.
Are you tired of those negative thoughts? Let's get rid of them.
I say yes to life. I have faith in myself. I create my life.
I am a creative person. I have unlimited energy. I feel good. Nourish your subconscious with positivity. Just listen to Inner Tune and start changing your life, one thought at a time.